Happy New Year. Happy 2018, everybody. So good to reunite and reconnect with you online. I know it's been a while that I've shared Folktales on my Tales with Tosinger channel. If you're stumbling on this channel, I am Tosinger, Tosinger, singer, writer, storyteller. And I'm glad you found me. If you're already a subscriber, I thank you so much for your continued support and loyalty. And I'm so glad that you've been able to join me today on another episode of Tales with Tosinger. I have something interesting for you today. I just started reading this book by the former president of Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama. Very, very, very interesting book. I would suggest you get it if you want to connect to the continent and be familiar with what it was like growing up in Africa. Specifically, this is, of course, Ghanaian. I will definitely highly recommend this book. And I'll be reading from it. You know, of course, I'm not going to be telling you the full gist because I want you to get the book and read and support. But I'll be reading a folk tale that caught my attention in the book, which I couldn't actually find anywhere online. So yeah, so I'm glad about that I'm able to, you know, do this. And you know how it is with folk tales. I am such I love folk tales and I love sharing them. So this is one that was shared with President when he was young by an old soldier friend of theirs. You know, it's called Taka Tika Gangale. Taka Tika and Gangale. It was shared with the president when he was young through the watchman Salifu, who happened to be a former serviceman, a former soldier. So I hope you enjoy it. I am so excited to share it with you. So, the story of the three songbirds. The story of the three songbirds. Taka, Tika, and Gangale. Taka, Tika, and Gangale. Taka, Tika, and Gangale were friends. Their names were reflective of the musical notes that each of them sang. The combination of their names, especially when intoned repeatedly, had a fetching rhythm to it. They turned it into a song and began this ritual of flying to the village square every day at sunrise after the market women had set up their displays of vegetables, fruits, grains, and sundries. By the time the customers had arrived and started thumping on the watermelons and squeezing the oranges to see if they were ripe, the birds would already be circling the air, infusing it with their harmonious music. Taka, Tika, Gangale, Taka, Tika, Gangale, Taka, Tika, Gangale. They would chirp. They would change the tempo and add breaks and really turning it into a full-scale performance. The villagers looked forward to hearing these three birds sing every day. They plied them with gifts, pieces of bread or grain, coins or paper money so that they'd hold it in their hands while raising their arms high in the air so the birds would swoop down and collect it. The partnership the three friends had was a very prosperous one. The entertainment they provided became the main feature at the market. Then success started to swell their heads with greed. Each one secretly imagined being able to keep all of the gifts. Each started wondering why he needed the other two birds at all. For a while, they kept these thoughts to themselves. One day, their trip to the market reaped a particularly huge reward of goods. At Taka's invitation, they'd flown to his nest to feast. After the meal, when everyone was full and satisfied, Taka told the others that he wanted to talk to them. He'd come up with a theory. "I'm the leader of this whole thing," he said. "It's my name, Taka, that makes us so popular. It's the power of that first note they hear, which brings us the presents and the food we get." The other two immediately saw where Taka was going with this. "Of course, that's not true," Tika was quick to rebut. "It's my name, Tika, which makes people give us things. It's an unusual coupling of notes. One is high, one is low. melodic of them all. Hey, Gangale interrupted. What you two are saying can't be. You both only sing 2 notes. Me, I sing 3 notes, and they sound like percussion. That's what the people like. It's my name and my contribution they enjoy the most. The argument escalated as each bird started feeling the need to proclaim his talent and protect his interest in the villagers' gifts. The 3 friends who had been working so well together got angry and decided to be done with their partnership as well as their friendship. Each agreed to go his separate way. The next morning, Taka arrived at the village first. He flew high with confidence while waiting for the merchants to place their crumpled sheets of newspapers at the bottom of their produce baskets, then piled the fruits and vegetables inside, tilting the basket slightly to promote the illusion of abundance. Once the customers had started filtering in, Taka made his debut. Taka, 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 he sang forcefully. Taka, Taka, Taka. It was a monotonous pecking sound that the villagers found very irritating. What is that noise? They asked one another. Once they saw it was a bird flying from stall to stall making the ruckus, they gathered stones and started to toss them to shoo the bird away. Frightened, Taka flapped his wings as fast as he could and returned to his nest. The next morning, when he went to the market to try his luck again, the same thing happened. For several days, he remained in his nest, despondent and hungry. He'd grown accustomed to the tasty selection of food that the villagers had been giving him and the other 2 birds, and now he was left to forage for his meals. Tika's attempt at a solo career was greeted with the same disdain. He arrived shortly after Taka left, unaware of the fate that had met his former friend. Tika found a spot atop one of the market women's stalls. It was a central location, a place where everyone was able to see and hear him. From there he started to wail, Tika! 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 His was an even more annoying sound. The unusually high note that he had to hit when singing his name sounded to the villagers like a screech. A few of them, unable to concentrate on the bargaining and the battering that was taking place between them and the merchants, abandoned their shopping and left. This bird will lose me customers, one of the market women exclaimed. She picked up the largest stone she could find and threw it at Tika, barely missing him. Shocked, he flew away and didn't return. Like Taka, after a few days alone in his nest, he started to yearn for those happier times when they had been loved and well fed. Gangale waited a few days before going to the market. He'd been rehearsing his song, flying from treetop to treetop in the forest just outside the village, singing out his name, trying to find the right pitch and the right rhythm. And when he felt he was ready, he went to the village square also. It was bustling with activity as usual. The shoppers had already arrived and were milling about. He cleared his throat and he began. Gangale, 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 he sang. Then he paused for a beat and continued again. Gangale, Gangale, Gangale. Some of the villagers appeared to be enjoying his song. They shuffled their feet and nodded their heads to the rhythm. Gangale continued. Gangale, Gangale, Gangale. After a few rounds of this, he heard one of the villagers asking, "But is that all this bird can sing? What nonsense? There must be a worm stuck in his throat." This made them laugh. "Go away," they insisted. Come back when you can add more to your song to make it sweet." Saddened and ashamed, Gangale decided to leave. "Oh, what has happened to our birds who used to come?" he heard one of the market women ask as he was flying away. Instead of returning straight to his nest, Gangale went to visit Tika. He wanted to find out how the villagers had received his old friend. When he arrived at Tika's nest, Gangale could see that the bird was fallen. Tika, having known Gangale for years, could also tell right away that he was unhappy. They knew what they had to do. The 2 of them made their way to Taka's nest. Taka was a vain bird and refused to let the others know how miserably he had failed, but they could see past his pretense. "I think we've all been foolish," Gangale told them. "Yes," Tika added. "None of us was the leader or had the more to contribute." "What they loved," Gangale continued, "was the music we made together." "You're right," Taka had to confess. "Without each other, what we have is not a song." They agreed to renew their friendship and to return to their partnership. The following morning, they arrived at the market square bright and early, and as they always did when they sang together, they started chirping. Taka, Tika Gangale, Taka, Tika Gangale, Taka, Tika Gangale, Taka, Tika Gangale. It was to a welcoming and spirited audience. Hey! Our songbirds are back! Everyone cheered. The villagers gave the birds more food and money than they ever received in a single day. They returned to Gangale's nest to eat the bread, fruit, and grain, and to count and equally split the money. After each bird had received his fair share and was content, Taka, Tika, and Gangale vowed to never again allow their pride to stand in the way of their progress. And that is the end of the story. Isn't that such an interesting story full of moral lessons? The message, of course, is united we stand, divided we fall. Once we learn to do things together, we do it faster, we do it quicker, we do it better. If we put greed out of the way, division out of the way, jealousy and envy out of the way, thinking I can do it all, then we fail. But when we come together in unity, we can achieve more, we can achieve better, and we can achieve quicker. And that's the lesson of the folktale. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed reading it. And stay tuned for more folktales on this channel this year, Tales with Tosinger. And from me to you is bye. Thanks for joining. Subscribe and share. Mwah. Bye. Taka, Tika Gangale.